Grand Rise, Willie Whittle. It shall be dope. This is the podcast. Let's get into it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? Turn the music up, turn me down.
I'm in my zone.
Let's go get him again.
This time,
This time is for the money, my nigga. Brooklyn, stand up. Never.
listen. Black Album, Jay-Z. Track number 3. What more can I say? It puts me in a different mindset, right? And I talked about the you don't know mindset in the last pod. But what more can I say is cocky in a different way to me. What it depicts is I'm doing it and I've done it. What more can I say to you? Just a bunch of that slick talk. First of all, Hove shouted me out in this song. I don't care what nobody say. This on me. Hove shouted me out. WILLIE. Nobody truer than. Now he said truer than HOV, but come on, man. That was a shot for me. Like I appreciate it, man. From way back, you already knew what the deal was, so I appreciate it. See how I take credit for stuff that ain't even mine. The difference in what I've been feeling, what I've heard with this, what brought me to this song, what had me listening to this one on a rotative basis at this point, because I had this one on repeat this week, was just that embracing my leadership mindset again. I've been leading, and I know sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes it gets to a point where it's just a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. I pulled this excerpt from this song, right? And the statement kind of coincides with a lot of stuff that I heard. So, from the song, he says, the Martha Stewart that's far from Jewish, far from a Harvard student, and just had the balls to do it. I'm not a scholar. I'm not one of those professor types. I'm not a corporate type. I am who I am. But me and one of my buddies had a really good conversation the other day, and it was a real heart to heart that we needed, man. Shout out to my guy. He said the same thing, and he's a younger guy, and he's well dressed, well put together young man. Hassan is my guy. He's my guy, and he said something to me. He said, "I'm not corporate. I don't feel like I'm a corporate guy. I don't feel like I belong here." And to see me doing the same thing in the same setting gives him hope to say, like, I can be here, right? And that was eye-opening to me, because now I'm just leading in a certain way by example. And I look up to this young cat. This guy's he's gonna do something amazing. He's doing something amazing already. And he's just gonna continue to grow and be dope. But the statement was like, he went to school and he is getting everything that he deserves, everything that he's worked for in life. And he's going to continue to be blessed. I did the same thing, just a different path. Puts us in a place where our paths cross, where we both feel like this is an area where we don't belong. But when you really think about it, we occupy a space. All of us occupy a space. And how we occupy that space is not if we belong there, it's what we genuinely bring to that space. See, when we had this conversation, we had to look at it from a different perspective to understand how we really felt. It's not about us trying to fit into a space. It's us being dynamic in a space. We're already going to be wherever we're going to be. We, as young black entrepreneurs, young black men, young black people who are trying to just navigate the free world, we end up in places where we feel uncomfortable, where we feel like there's something that's holding us back, where there's something that's stopping us from being our full authentic self, right? And the truth is, that's 100% right. There are going to be times where we don't feel like we're us. But think of the us who we grew up as. Then think of how we grew. We didn't change, we grew. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to become more than what we started out as. It's still a part of us. But you're supposed to blossom into something different. You're supposed to blossom and grow into the Willies that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm supposed to be. That's the beauty of it. We can, and with that, with all of that in our like repertoire, we could go anywhere and we could grow and be dynamic. So it's not about the walls that we are in. It's not about the setting. It's about us being dynamic, because we can be dynamic anywhere. It's about our viewpoints. It's about our perspective. It's about our perception on how we see things and how we can turn that into something totally different, just like we've done with our lives. And what more can I say to you? Now I just have to do it. You don't have to believe that I can do it. Like, you don't have to, I believe that I can do it. I know I can do it. So when I talk about it from a leadership perspective, when I talk about it from a family perspective, when I talk about it from a personal perspective, I believe that I can do it. And what more can I say? I'm far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. Like, I'm going to continue to progress. We're going to continue to progress. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, I'm not just going to stop because I realize, like, man, this may not be an environment that makes me feel comfortable. Roses grow in concrete. I've seen it. They'll survive with what they have and still try to grow. If given an environment that they're put in that they're uncomfortable, they still have to try to grow. That's the nature of the beast, is to continue to grow. So with that being said, when we see ourselves as these diamonds in the rough that are in rough patches, are in uncomfortable situations, that's cool. That's cool. Let them shine the diamond. Let them get that pressure. Let them build, because that's what's going to make us tougher. Like, we got to be in uncomfortable situations. And we all talked about it. Like, if you get into a spot that you're uncomfortable in, understand it, reflect on it, and make sure you learned something from that situation. I had a minor one this week. And after I looked at it again, I was like, yep, handle it like this. Be prepared next time. Got it. Made it minor. It wasn't a major situation, and I didn't make it a major situation. It was just me learning myself, and I'm learning every day. It's a, I'm telling you, like, the music that you listen to literally is like the soundtrack to your life. And I know I keep coming back to this kind of concept or whatnot, but what more can I say to you? Like, I mean, never been a dude this hood for this long, this hot. You got to listen to it. You got to listen to it. I mean, with so many different flows, this one for this song, the next one I switch up, the next one would get bit up. You think that I'm too lazy to make up? They crazy. They don't paint pictures. They just trace me. You know what? Soon they forget where they plucked their whole style from and try to reverse the outcome. I'm like, I'm not a biter. I'm a writer for myself and others. I say a big verse, I'm only bigging up my brother. I'm bigging up my bro. I'm big enough to do it. I'm that thorough. Plus, I know my own flow is foolish. That is some of the cockiest stuff I've ever heard in my life. Like, first of all, like, I'm going to always show love to the fam. Like, my people is behind me. Everybody's with me. So I'm going to show love. Of course, if it's somebody else's brainchild, if it's somebody else's thoughts, if it's that dope, like, yeah, I'm gonna use it in bars too. Like, what are we talking about? But I ain't here for no reason. I'm not here for no reason. Like, I'm here because I'm dope too. Like, if we talk about it from my perspective, from a podcast perspective, like the It Shall Be Dope brand, the It Shall Be Dope moniker is literally based off of how I feel. I feel like as long as you walk your path to peace with love, it shall be dope. That is the statement. But podcasting is not new. It's new to me. It's not new to everybody though. Like there's people that, I mean, Joe Budden podcasts all the time. Like he's been doing it for, I don't know, I think it was 10 years. He just celebrated his 10-year anniversary. Like Joe Rogan, I think, is still the number one podcaster in the world. And I used to watch this dude on the TV show where they used to eat all the wild stuff, and I can't even remember the name of it, but he used to have them like trying to figure out if they were going to do this and make this deal or whatever, and it's fear factor. And now he's the number one podcaster in the world because he jumped in the podcast game first. Like, it doesn't matter who you in the boat with, just get in the boat. Like, well, that's a bad analogy. I don't want to use that. Because last time we got in the boat. So let's double back. The field is open, right? The whole podcasting place is a marketplace is open. It's a free world for you to explore what you feel. But I'm really not doing this for as a like secondary business per se. Like, of course it is. But when I first got on the mic, it was because I had something I wanted to say. I had something I wanted to say. And I started speaking on it. And my heart was just like spilling on the mic, right? And I needed that. It was therapeutic for me. It is therapeutic for me. I love doing this. It's different for me. It puts me in a different mindset. It helps me think about my thoughts on a weekly basis. Helps me reflect and journal. Like, I'm a different dude right now. But that ties in with everything that I said before, that growth mindset. Like, you have to be in a place where you can actually recognize what has happened to get you where you are. I've seen Cat Williams, I think it was a Cat Williams snippet on IG, and he said, if you can list all of the things that you did bad or that happened to you bad, write them all out. And you look at that list and you say, this is all the stuff that I overcame and I'm still here. What more can you say to that? Like, what more can you say to, if you actually do the work to list out, like, man, I got my ass kicked here. This was going this way and it wasn't like my direction. This happened. I'm over here doing this. I was struggling with this. I'm here, boom, boom, boom. But you are here. There's a lot of people who don't get the opportunity to still be here. And, you know, for whatever afterlife belief you have, I hope they're living a better eternal life. I hope it's way better. You know, for Lex, I hope it's way better. For my homeboy Chris, I hope it's way better. Today is my brother's birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to Curtis Dion Whittle. Just one of them things that's like, I hope Kurt is in a great place. I hope they all up there having a great time. I hope they kicking it with all the greats, and or they creating their own life where their aura became something different. It allowed them to manifest into something so much bigger than what they were here, right? I don't know what the recipe is for it, but I hope they're good. I hope they're good. I miss them every day. I miss all of them every day. But it's Kurt's birthday, which always put me in a place because Kurt's birthday is right before mine. And you know, it was just one of them things like, all right, yours is up, and then, you know, we celebrate, and then, all right, mine is coming up next, and we celebrate. You know, it's one of them things. So I missed that. I definitely missed that. what more can I say? What more can I say? Like, we are going to be uncomfortable. We're going to be in places that put us in a different mindset. But bottom line is, are you not entertained? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm going to continue to push for my people to be advanced. Get in that space. As uncomfortable as we may feel, we might be making some people uncomfortable too. That might be a thing. And we're not trying to make you feel uncomfortable, so don't get it twisted. Like, I don't want no, like, people be like, you're making me uncomfortable. Like, that's wild. Like, but what I'm saying is, we might be in the space feeling uncomfortable sitting next to somebody else who feels just as uncomfortable, and then we're both trying to figure it out. Everybody's occupying the space where they don't really feel uncomfortable, or where they feel uncomfortable, and that's where they all learn. Maybe you tell them something that makes them say, I didn't think of that, right? The cost of being the leader is the cost that sometimes you may not be the one who's always right. You might make people uncomfortable. You might make people have to feel something. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. That's a Benny the Butcher quote, by the way. Album, Benny the Butcher shout. But everybody can't go, and that's okay. Like, so as you lead, you have to be willing. And I'm gonna pod about this probably next week or in the next couple weeks. But as you lead, lead by example. But also, it's a lot of feelings that you have to put to the side, because sometimes you will be the one who gets scrutinized. You have to be prepared to be unliked. You have to be prepared to be misunderstood. You have to prepare to be the person who gets all the backlash and all of the questions and all of the beef when it hits the fan. You got to be prepared for that if you are ready to lead. So, just some of the stuff that I've learned. But like I said, I'm not a biter for my writing, for myself and others. I say a big verse, I'm only bigging up my brother. Come on, man. Shout out to my brother. And the Martha Stewart that's far from Jewish, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. Continue to push in those uncomfortable spaces. Continue to be who you are around everybody. Around everybody. Because no matter what, we're all walking our path to peace. And as long as we do that with love in our hearts, it shall be dope. Thank y'all. Have a blessed day.